Hello out there, those people who are out walking, those people at home, those people relaxing, those people uptight, if you're at work, wherever you are. Hello, hello, welcome to Fundamentalist Fails, where we're checking out the zealots, the zany, the zebras on YouTube, the fire and brimstone that happens to be raining down on us because fundamentalists. They put the fun into fundamentalism. And we're here to laugh today at a guy called Bob Larson because he is one of the most ridiculous characters that has ever ridden that pulpit into the sunset. Seriously, he is absolutely hilarious, and I find him, well, I find him absolutely a joke. Bob Larson is a joke. So if you're unfamiliar with Bob Larson, he's basically an evangelical, he calls himself the real exorcist. And now you might say, but Mark, isn't that a Catholic thing? And yeah, you would be right. The evangelical, there's no real exorcisms kind of thing. It's not something that the evangelicals really do. Although they might sort of talk about demons and stuff, they really don't get into the whole casting out of demons. It really is a Catholic thing. So what is Bob Larson doing? Exercising spirits and being the real well, he's cosplaying. I wish I was joking. The man cosplays as a Catholic priest. You'll see that he's got the collar and everything that the evangelicals don't wear, the pastors don't wear. He's got the black robes kind of thing, which is a Catholic thing. He really is just cosplay. He's LARPing as a Catholic priest, essentially. But he's basically cashing in on this idea. Well, we don't have any exorcists, and we believe in demons, but the video, I had to do this. Like, I saw it and I had to do it. So the name of the video, and bear with me here. Bear with me. The name of the video is, Can You Get Demons from Cursing? Can you get demons from cursing? So fuck yeah, we're gonna be cursing a lot in this video because fuck Bob Larson, seriously. I've also been told you can't get pinged for swearing if you say it in the first 5 minutes of the video anymore. So fuck yeah, we're going to be swearing. And screw this guy. Like, seriously, he is like, there's some evangelicals, there's some like fundamentalists. You think, yeah, they might very well believe what they're sort of, projecting, what they're spewing into the world. They actually believe it. I mean, they're completely wrong, but they believe it. Bob Larson's one where he doesn't, like, the corniness, the fakery, the absolute cringe of this man. I don't know how anybody believes it. It is absolute hogwash, and sort of overtly so. There was a suggestion of why scam artists put mistakes in their emails, why they misspell words, why they make them so bad. It's to like find the people who don't think critically enough to actually go, is this real or not? They want to find, and I think Bob Larson's doing the same. I think he's really hamming it up because only a moron would believe that he can actually exorcise demons. Oh, the magic word devils, yes, yes. Technically, they're all cosplaying. Well, ain't that the truth? Yes, ain't that the truth? Technically, they are all cosplaying. But Bob Larson's cosplaying as a Catholic priest, cosplaying as some kind of spiritual leader. So, it's cosplayception all the way down. Yes, yeah. Well, what I'm saying, Jedi, is that yes, they talk, like, evangelicals talk demons all the time, but they don't go in for these actual physical exorcisms, and there's a good reason for that. And I'll sort of get into the reason behind that. It's because the Catholics see the church as the representatives of Jesus Christ and of the God, and they have the authority to do certain things, being an apostolic succession from the, from Peter, or from, in the case of the Orthodox, it's from Matthew and Mark. Um, the evangelicals are more on the side of, well, you've got a personal relationship with Jesus. So evangelicals usually go in for, well, you don't have to turn to the church to get rid of your demons. Jesus can do that directly, and that's why they don't go in for these sort of exorcisms kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah, he's a Protestant that hates Catholics while dressed as one and pretending to be one. It's actually hilarious. But anyway, I'll get the video up. But it's good to see you all. Pentecostals? Yeah, they're a bit different, I think. But their exorcisms are not the same. I don't think they are anyway. I don't think they go in for yeah, so Pentecostals do deliverance sessions where they bind and cast out demons, but it's not so much like relying on the pastor or the church, but it's more relying on the people around you kind of thing. Like, it's called a deliverance, and it's not really an exorcism where you have like the priest compelling the demon with the authority of the church. It's more like the people gather round and do it. It's all stupid, okay? It's all stupid. Yep, they absolutely are. Now, to spice things up, absolutely. So, yeah, this is Bob Larson explaining to us all why cursing, fuck's sake, why cursing can open you up to demons. Look, I don't know, guys. I think that Australians are the perfect example of a people that curse a lot, that really have, like, they're really fine. There's no, what are you talking about? It's absolute ridiculous. Hang on a second. So here we go. Here's Bob Larson. Stop the stupidity. Gifted 5 readerships. Thank you, STS. I really appreciate it. That is awesome. Excuse me. I got to get my voice, my announcer voice. I gotta lower the pitch and get my announcer voice on. Just 1 second. I just got to warm up here. Take a swig. But thank you, Stop the Stupidity. I appreciate it. And that goes out to B. Barnes, Oceanus, Helios, Waterboy, Sade 9, and Broadcast Cad. Enjoy your emotes, emojis, and other benefits. All of you. And when you step into the ring, you'll be armed with emotes. You'll be armed with access to member-only content. Yes. You'll be armed with a folding chair to the back. Yes. Congratulations. Winner chicken dinners. One and all. I can't. Hang on a second. Let me get organized here. Oh boy. I can't wait to get into this. I honestly can't wait to get into this. Like, honestly, it sounds awesome. Swearing opens you up to demons. Yeah, of course it does. Yeah, of course. Why would I think anything else? Why would I think anything else? Honestly. Give me 1 sec. There you go. Oh, I feel great today. Friday's my favorite day because I get to do Fundamentalist fails. It's always hilarious. Oh, really, Skeptic? I didn't know that. That's it is not procedural to stay. Okay, so there is no standardized way, because the Catholic Church. Okay, for a start, I fucking hate the Catholic Church and its ideas of what comprises of an exorcism, because they generally tend to deny the person food and water because the Bible says so, and that is downright fucking dangerous. And there's a lot of children who like I know of one girl who died during one of these exorcisms. You know, it's wrong, mate. It's absolutely wrong. And so the Catholic Church has really sort of moved away from them in the recent years because wow, you know, when you've got kids dying, it's really something to move away from. And the most horrible thing about it, I can't remember the kid's name. Um, she died, I think it was in New Mexico from memory. Um, and you know, it was basically this home church kind of thing. Yeah, 3-year-old girl. Ah, it's just so horrible. Um, Oh, in June, a US mum is accused of killing her 6-year-old son. Ah, it's terrible. Just terrible. Yeah. And the worst part of it is they're completely, to pardon the pun, but they're completely unrepentant. They're just like, well, we know they're with Jesus now, all worth it. And it's like, no, absolutely not. They should be absolutely prosecuted. They absolutely murdered their child. Like, it's terrible. So this is why I hate exorcists, because they are um you know, it's people like Bob Larson that really do spur these people on. Yeah. Well, there was the exorcism of Emily Rose was based upon real life events. It was based upon a girl in France who the Catholic Church killed while trying to exorcise her demons. And the thing is that girl had a form of, I believe, epilepsy. I can't remember the name of it. It's like neurological epilepsy. So she basically had an underlying condition that they essentially ignored. So a lot of these things, they will prey on people. Oh, fuck yeah, I have. Oh, look, I absolutely have been. Look, if Bob Larson says that cursing opens you up to demons, I've got to test the theory. I'll tell you if I feel anything demonic, okay? If I suddenly sprout a tail and horns, I will definitely let you know. But let's hear from this fucking fraud, this goddamn fucking piece of shit fraud. Um yeah. I usually don't curse a lot, to be honest with you. I'm not averse to it, but I think it's mostly because in my professional life, you just don't swear because it generally amplifies emotions. And there's been a lot of study doing, like, looking at swearing, and you know it's actually beneficial in some respects. I mean, socially it might not be. You might be frowned upon if as Left-Handed Jedi says, cuss like a goddamn sailor in the middle of your workplace. But on the other hand, it's been associated with a relief of stress. There's studies that say that you can actually do pain mitigation by swearing, like, because it basically provides a coping mechanism that releases endorphins to be able to cope with pain and fear and things like that. You could teach me some dillies. I don't think. Okay, well, I mean, it's gotta come under a certain level, right? But anyway, here's this fucking guy. This fucking guy. Here he is.
Do you curse occasionally?
Nope, generally not. But I will for this one, mate, because it must annoy you. So, fuck it. Why not? Let's curse. Let's do it.
Full blown F words or darns that become dangs that become dams?
No, I just skip straight to the damn, mate. I don't give a fuck. Seriously, it's just swears in a jar. Yeah, basically. This is the. You know what? I remember somebody used to do a thing on the radio that was like I can't remember the name. It was the Moldavian swearing bear, and it was frigging hilarious. I can't. What was the name of it? Moldavian swearing bear. Keith, the Moravian swearing bear. Yeah, Mikey Robbins. That's right. So Mikey Robbins was an Australian comedian, and he did Keith, the Moravian swearing bear, which was just great. Which was just great. Um, let's see if I can find some of it. Wow, God, there's a blast from the past from you. So Australia's had this long history of um, you know, absolutely terrifying kids show parodies, and one was Shirty, the slightly aggressive bear, which was great, which was absolutely fantastic. You're interviewing? No, I wouldn't interview this fucking guy. Seriously, fuck him. Uh, give me one sec. Cool. All right. Oh, that guy doesn't actually talk. But anyway, like, Australians swear pretty handily, and it's not a great big deal. I don't get the issue.
I've observed that the incidence of Christians cursing and using foul language has increased exponentially in recent years.
Yeah, ever since Trump got elected, everyone's been swearing a bit more, mate. Because fuck that guy, and fuck you too. Look, and here's the thing. Look at his outfit, right? This he's trying to look like a Catholic priest so much, like seriously, so much. Like this big ass cross. It is now. Look, look. The fuck is a parademon? As far as I know, Aunt Yeah, and what the only parademon I'm aware of is the one from Justice League War, which was, hold it a second, let me, a parademon was like an alien from what was his name? What was that dude's name? The big bad. It was like Thanos, but DC. Damn. Oh God. Darkseid. Darkseid was the one. Yes, Darkseid. So he's a minion of Darkseid that he's controlled and altered genetically. Look, it's a comic book thing. Yeah. DC's Darkseid. Yes, yes. And good on you, Kermit, for knowing that. I fucking salute you, mate. I really do. You like the Australian colourful greetings, mate? You like 'em, eh? Doomsday, fuck off. Just fuck right off with that shit, alright? Fuck right off. Seriously. I that's bullshit. It's Darkseid. It's fucking Darkseid. The Australian greetings. Hey, get it up, you mate. Good on ya. Good on ya, copper. You got a good hard one there, mate. Yeah. Australian colourful greetings, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Look, I can get Ocker, all right? If you're wondering, Ocker is the Australian that's like it's really like it's like so Australian it's ridiculous. It's like the southern of Australia, like the southern states accent. It's that really Australian. How you doing, mate? That's Ocker, right? It's a random word, I know. No, Doomsday was the genetically created thing that killed Superman or didn't kill Superman or did some fucking thing. I don't remember. Anyway, right, enough comic books, that fucking thing. Can I just point out, this guy has a Bob Larson University. Take one guess what this university teaches, and I'll tell you it's not physics, okay? I'll put that out there right fucking now, okay? I'll put that out there. It's not fucking physics. Okay? Like, seriously, this is a completely unaccredited university. I looked up whether this university was accredited, and it said, right, what it said was that it's accredited by Bob Larson. Like, seriously, fuck me. Like, what? Yeah, I mean, it can be. Okay. So, just a side bet. If you ever come to Australia, don't just use that word out of context. It's only used between friends, kind of thing. So, it can be a really, really savage word. It can be, really endearing. You know, like I have some cunts are my best mates, all right, but it's also used as an insult, so be careful with that one. Now that the video is completely demonetized, let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah, I mean, it's not common here. You won't hear people just shouting it out loud, so don't do that kind of thing. Like, don't do that. Don't just run out there in Australia and start shouting it out because you think it's fun. It's still frowned upon in certain circles. But, this episode's all about swearing. I've got to scratch that demon, right? Ridiculous. Grand larceny? Nice. Anyway, delivery services? No, he teaches exorcism. Like, he teaches how to exorcise demons. It's right up there with, fairy catching university. It's absolute ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Like, seriously, it's a scam. It's absolutely a scam. Who are these graduates of the Bob Larson University that have gone on to do this amazing work in the industry of exorcising demons, right? And he quotes Luke 4:18, which is Spirit of the Lord is upon me because he has anointed me to proclaim the good news to the poor, to set the oppressed free. Yeah, that's not actually talking about demons, just saying. Boy.
That become dangs, that become dams?
No,
I've
just
observed that
just
the
damn.
incidence of Christians cursing and using foul language has increased exponentially in recent years. Does this expanding coarseness of conversation have spiritual significance? Is the degradation of vocal expressions, even by people of faith, an indication of lost propriety and a sign of something a lot more sinister?
No, not at all. People have sworn for ages. It has been a thing people have done for ages. There is nothing to suggest that swearing is even bad for you. Like, there's nothing at all. A lot of people will see swearing as a way to really express what they are feeling. I think I really liked Tim Minchin, right? Absolute champ. Also, from my neck of the woods, what a guy, what an absolute hero. He sort of said, like, because he was asked on a show, like, do you have to swear? And he said, well, I don't have to swear, but sometimes it's appropriate, right? Because Tim Minchin, who wrote a lot of atheist songs, and if you haven't heard them, fucking hilarious, like, just hilarious. Like, he wrote Thank You God, that was like about, somebody saying that God cured the cataracts of his mum or something. Like, sometimes it is appropriate. Like, when you find out the Catholic Church has been abusing children, it is appropriate to swear, right? When you're doing a video on some fucking cunt that is taking advantage of people by convincing them their bad language is some sort of supernatural accostation from the beyond, it is appropriate to swear at that fucking cunt, right? That's the thing. Like, you don't just use it willy-nilly. It is an expression of real deep feelings. And sometimes it's appropriate. Sometimes it's not. If I'm hanging out with, a bunch of kindergarten kids, for whatever reason, or, there's a bunch around me, it may not be appropriate to do that. And fair enough. But sometimes it is. And sometimes, using that language is absolutely appropriate. I think this guy did support Trump, and Trump swears all the time. Trump swears more than any president in the past, right? because usually we go, well, when you're being a professional and you are working, in a professional setting like the president is, it's usually not appropriate to swear. Fair enough, right? That's fair enough. But he does. Did he support Trump? Asked if Hillary or Trump is worse. Yes, he did. He said we have to support the lesser evil, which is Trump. So yes, he did. So, just saying. Well, the only reason I'm well, yeah, but yeah, okay. Technically, he's right. He only suggests it can increase the chances of Christians getting demons. Atheists are still completely safe. Apparently so. I don't know. Yes, it is. It is considered a swear. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, look, I'm the only reason I'm swearing so much is because Bob fucking Larson. Seriously, fuck this guy. No, I'm only swearing because it's about swearing. That's all. And quite frankly, I find it hilarious that he's even suggesting that swearing can open you up for demons.
I'm shocked that often Christians curse as much as those who do not know Christ. And this includes some well-known pastors whose names I could say and you would recognize. There are many scriptures regarding objectionable language.
Okay. Why would we care? Well, I mean, it's interesting because I've, debated a couple of author bros that swear and carry on and say the most ridiculous stuff. Sometimes I think that swearing is less offensive than some of the views that people purport to have, right? Like, if that guy on Jubilee got on there and just swore his ass off, that would be less offensive than going on there and supporting fascism, right? Like, some things are offensive, but I don't judge whether it's whether the word or not. It's just a word.
Especially when curses take God's name in vain. We'll get to
that
later.
No. Oh, no. How dare you take fucking God's name in fucking vain. Oh, no. Oh, hang on. I've got some pearls around here somewhere. Oh, no. Oh, no. Look, apparently it guarantees it. It guarantees it. So if you swear, you're opening your mouth to swallow the demon dick, apparently.
But what about the argument that curse words are just words?
They are just words, sir. They are just words. There used to be a whole bunch of words in the past that were swear words that aren't used anymore as swear words, right? They're called archaic curses or archaic swear words, right? What's some examples? Sard, right? It's sard, S-A-R-D. That is an archaic word that's like the F-bomb, right? It's like fuck. Sard. Gadzooks. There's another one. Gadzooks. That actually was a swear word. Gadzooks. It's not anymore. Fopdoodle. Actually, like, real talk, we got to bring back Fopdoodle. Fopdoodle's got to come back, right? A Fopdoodle's somebody that is a dumb person constantly. It basically is a dickhead. Let's face it. You fucking Fopdoodle. You absolute Fopdoodle. How dare you bring your Fopdoodlery around here? I got to bring this back. Like, come on. Let's start using Fopdoodle again. Bed swerver. Bed swerver. Apparently, that was Shakespeare. It's a word for cheater. It was invented by Shakespeare. Bed swerver. Oh, shit. Here we go. Bloody Nora. Hey, I know Australians that still say that. Bloody Nora, mate. Bloody Nora. There you go. Yeah, so there are swear words that are no longer swear words, but I'm all in favour of bringing Fopdoodle back. Why did the demon suddenly decide that Fop Doodle wasn't worth possessing people over anymore? Why? What is that? Well, by Odin's beard. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, but apparently Sard is the same as fuck. Like that's the same thing. And you know, if you're delicate and you are afraid of curse words, sorry, this is about curse words, and you know, I'm still the same person. Let me see. No demon yet. I'd imagine I would be able to smell it if I was demon possessed. Absolutely.
They're like the child who says sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never hurt me. Are curse words just syllables pronounced in a certain language with no moral context?
Well, all words are syllables pronounced in a sequence with no moral context. It's the ideas behind them that have the moral context. But, you know, I mean, you can be loving towards somebody, maybe really loving towards somebody, maybe romantically and sexually loving towards somebody and use curse words. Like, seriously, my guy, it is the what's beneath them. So I get that, hey, if you're using them to insult, to demean, to do horrible things, to imply horrible ideas, yeah, that can be a problem. But that's not necessarily the case. It is, like we were talking about Australians and the C word. Like, we're really talking about how it's being, like, because you can call somebody that in anger and frustrated with them, and it is an insult and horrible. Whereas you can say that to a mate of yours, and it can be an endearing thing, right? It really can. Demon smell? Yeah, mate, I'm opening the Mark Reed University for exorcism in competition with Bob Larson's. Absolutely. Absolutely.
God concerned about just our actions and not what we say? Are words the precursor to actions?
No, they are not. No, they absolutely are not. There is a bunch of people that will say all kinds of things and they will never act upon them. Expression of emotion is not, like, a lot of expression of emotion is to alleviate any necessity to do action. Like, for instance, when you go, oh, fuck, I'd love if my bank just burnt down. Like, it is so you can express that emotion without actually doing anything about it. You know, expressing frustration. It's healthy to do. If that involves a swear word, you go for it. Like, seriously, I get it. You want to express how you feel and have people understand. Curse words are fantastic for that. Swear words are fantastic for that. Like, the word fuck is so good. It is so, you know, versatile, right? It can be used warmly. You know, it can be used harshly. It's like a big ass exclamation mark. Oh, that fucking sucks. You know, I fucking love that movie. It's just a word to, like, and that can be a good emotion. It can be a bad emotion. It can be anything. The word itself is not a problem. It's the context in which you use it that's the issue. But of course, Bob here, he rides on making people feel guilty. He's not just cosplaying a Catholic priest for the exorcism thing. He's also into the guilt. Because if you can draw up enough guilt, people will seek you out trying to help you. And we'll see that as it goes along. He kind of gets into his cure for your fucking swearing problem.
They speak specifically about the condition of a person's soul? Are some curse words worse than others?
Does it speak about the condition? No. Number one, I don't think a soul exists. Number two, it doesn't speak anything to how good a person that is. I know some Australians that, like, they fucking swear. Like, really, every second word is a swear word. And they are really good people. Really, really kind, really nice, would help you out. You know, really good mates. But they swear a lot. And it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. It's just not. I should keep an eye on the chat and see if anyone... Mods, you know, love your work. If you're keeping an eye on the chat, Love it, and just let the swearing go by. I will say that it's it's not swearing Saturday, but it is Fundamentalist Friday. Yeah, Kip fucking loves the Bible. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm with you, Kip. I love the history and the stories. I fucking hate people using the Bible for stuff. Yeah, absolutely. You go nuts. You go nuts, Beck. I'm right there with you, my friend. You go nuts. Glad I had some CGI flame to my noggin. Not sure why, but here's the interesting thing. Apparently, unpronounceable or seg or I don't know what the little thingo over it does. I presume it's sog is the oldest known curse word. It is Sumerian and it means cunt. Yes, and the number 12 is in it. Okay, fantastic. Fantastic. Look, I never said Australians invented swearing. I'm just saying we refined it a lot, okay? We refined it very well. Okay? That is true. I never said we invented it. We just refined it. We have a controlling interest in it. That's all. That's all.
Does the word damn have theological implications?
Does damn have theological implications? Damn, we're all fucked. Seriously. What do you expect to say to this? Like, does it have theological No. Not at all. Not in the slightest. Not in the absolute slightest. Oh dear. Is there swear words in the Bible? Is that something that Kip notes? Is there swear words in the Bible? Apparently, according to and do clear it up. The AI's not thingo. Oh, the Apostle Paul used the Greek word skabala in Philippians 3:8, meaning dung or shit, when referring to things he had lost in order to regain Christ. Oh no! Paul just swearing his ass off. Wow. I'm horrified. Paul, possessed by demons. Who knew? Who knew that Paul was possessed by demons? He said, what was that word again? He said skubala. 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 Yeah, okay. Jesus referred to the Aramaic word raka in Matthew 5:22, meaning fool. Although its exact meaning and perceived vulgarity. Oh, Jesus possessed by demons? You heard it here first. He swore. He swore. In some cases, words that mean profane to the original authors are replaced with less offensive terms, such as the use of bless God instead of curse God, or thigh or groin as euphemisms for the genitals. Oof. Yeah, I remember there was that Old Testament verse that said that the woman's the curse of the dirty the curse of the something of the bitter water, that her thigh would fall away, and that was sort of referring to her placenta. You heard it here first. Jesus swore. He's possessed.
I have a very stern warning. Cursing can open doors to demons.
Really? Really? Have you got any evidence of this? Ezekiel literally calls other divine beings shit gods. Yeah, okay, cool. Cool. Yep. Thanks, Kip. Yeah, so what? Don't read the Bible. You could be opening yourself up to demons. It's a risk. It's a risk. Those dirty writers of the Bible. Paul, that reprobate and his vulgar skabala. I'm probably butchering that pronunciation. Yes, it is an all swearing stream. It is this is the stream of vulgarity, both literally and metaphorically.
I thought a lot about doing this particular podcast. Would Christians even care? Would they listen? Would the general public just shrug their shoulders? Does this really matter? Should I be spending important time on this?
No. No, absolutely not. Again, studies have shown that swearing when you're hurt actually relieves pain. It's shown that people are less stressful that swear. It's actually people with better vocabularies swear. Like people that have larger vocabularies have a tendency to swear. We've studied this extensively. There does not, outside of social perception, like how people will see you socially, there doesn't seem to be a downside to swearing. Right? Like it doesn't affect your life negatively except for how people perceive you. Like in some of my jobs, if I just sat there and swore, I would be told to stop it. It's not appropriate for what I'm doing. And that's fair enough, right? When you've got a customer facing role or you have to deal with the public, swearing probably isn't a good idea. But that not to say that you can't do that outside of your work and it's fine. Like you don't, you know, you're not cast away by your friends. You're not thrown down in some way. There can also be social bonding associated with swearing. So it's interesting to see what psychologists say, as opposed to some absolute fraud who's trying to convince people that they're possessed by demons. Right? At best, and so in a way, I'm talking about swearing here, like just swearing. I'm not talking about the context of it. Like, for instance, if you're using dirty words and that can be sexual harassment, for instance, that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is just profanity without any other sort of intentionality on top of it. Just expressing emotions, basically. So, absolutely there can be negative consequences when you're talking about inappropriate actions, or the meaning is inappropriate, like sexual harassment or something like that. Absolutely. But what I'm really talking about is whether you swear about things. You stub your toe and you go, oh fuck, that hurts. So that, according to science, that can actually spread endorphins that lower the pain response. Apparently it can help, which is wild, but I can imagine it probably would. So yeah, but is it gonna be a representative of your soul? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. A person that is very reserved and never swears can be a monster. A person that swears all the time can be a really good person, down to earth and loves his family and everyone around him. I've met plenty of Australians, really good people, swear like unimaginably swear, and they are really good people.
The answer is yes.
Well, fucking woman up, Bree, because you're fucking here and we're fucking swearing. You have virgin. I don't believe that for a second. I don't believe that for a second. No.
Something is happening here, and I'm seeing it in deliverance and exorcism when I confront demons.
Yeah, so deliverance is the evangelical equivalent of exorcism. So, that's what they go for,
Cursing in our culture has lowered the barriers to what demons can do, and you do not want to be part of that problem.
Oh, fuck yeah, I do. Demons are cunts, like seriously. Look, I said it. I've demonetized this stream 5 times over. I'm gone for 6. Innocence lost, you're fooling nobody. You're fucking fooling nobody. Look, I am Australian. I can swear with the best of them. I generally don't, but there's sometimes when it's appropriate. There's sometimes when you really have to express yourself, and they are just words. They, when I sit there and go, this is the best fucking community I have ever been part of. It is that exclamation mark on it, that real feeling of it. Totally awesome. Absolutely awesome. This is nonsense. Like, it can open you up for demons. I have a choice whether I do or not. It doesn't offend me. I don't have to. I have a choice. I'm not afraid of it. I'm not totally into it. It's whatever. I don't, it doesn't matter. It's just a word. Something is happening here. Yeah, it's just swearing is on the rise as soon as Trump became president. Understandable. Who's this Anton LaVey looking motherfucker? This is Bob Larson. He is an absolute joke. Absolute joke. Like, seriously. Absolute joke.
Subscribe, hit the notification bell. Make sure that the next time something new and unusual comes along, and we may just jump on the topic live.
Oh, thanks, Hill Hugger. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. I am, yeah. Thank you so much. Like, this is the thing. Like, it's just these words, we all, like, Australians all use them in a variety of total ways. Like I said, it's important to understand the context. Like, you don't just go and shout it. Like, some people are tourists, they come to Australia and they'll just shout like cunt all the time. And it's like, no, that's not what we do. We save it for real expression, like, that guy is a total cunt. Like, seriously. I've said it in a debate. I think I called I think I called Andrew Wilson a cunt, didn't I? I think I did, actually. And yeah, well, we'll get to that. We will get to that, BTF Wayne. We definitely will get to that.
You are there and ready because you are a subscriber. And as always, like and share. Let somebody else.
Yeah, like and share and subscribe to this one. Tell Bob Larson to fuck off, but like and subscribe to this one. Hey, Catter. So good to see you. Listen, cunt, I've missed you. I really have. Just, yeah. This is the swearing episode. Look, people have accused me of not being Australian enough. I'm here to clear that right up. Oh, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Like, if your mate pranks you and you're like, you fucking cunt, like, it is one of those things, but it can be very offensive depending on context, right? Like, it can be very offensive depending on, like, if you don't know somebody and call them that, they'll probably be very mad at you. But, love you too, cunt. See, like, yeah, it's very contextual. Okay, very contextual. You'd have to know someone pretty well in order to use that on them, and it lets a lot of tone, inflection, and things like that. So yeah, yep. It's just a matter of learning where it's appropriate, where it's not. Like a lot of words, it's like politics or something, where learn where it's appropriate to talk about it, where it's not. Religion, please, religious people, learn where it's appropriate to talk about it and where it's not. Like, seriously.
No, about today's topic. You may know some Christian who has a problem with cursing. We've got some answers for them with the help of...
Oh, look, and Kat is right. Kat is absolutely right. Look, I've got a couple of friends who are mad cunts, right? Like, and you'll hear that one a lot. Oh, they're a mad cunt. It just means that they do strange and weird things, or they're pretty wild, like pretty wild. It's not even insulting, really. It just means they're, a tearaway, a wild just somebody that is pretty interesting and does random stuff. It's not even bad.
Scripture and the Holy Spirit will be sure.
Yeah, that's another one. That's definitely another one.
Because if you like us,
that's
you
definitely
too will
another
like
one.
us. And always, I remind you, we are supported by those of you who watch us, who go to our other social media sites, who follow this ministry and maybe have for a long time. But if you've never shared a significant gift with this ministry, this is an important time to do so. You can give in two ways. You can go to boblarson.org.
Yeah, donate by texting GIVE to my phone. Buy my DVDs. And here is where we see what Bob Larson is really all about. Bob Larson is really all about the grift. That's what he's about. He wants your money because he's got to combat the demons that exist because people swear. Like, that's really what this fucker is all about.
main website and click on the donate button. Or text the word give.
Yeah, I don't think we need to
Platform.
see that.
If you don't know what it's all about, check it out. You'll find it interesting. Hundreds of videos. Not posted anywhere else. They're not on YouTube. They're not on Facebook. They're exclusive to ExoNova. Exorcisms, messages that I've delivered. Some very dramatic teaching about every aspect.
Look, if I outlawed one type of speech, it would be this fucking
$20 a
this you know. So basically, here's the grift. You basically convince people that there are demons and that they're being assaulted by them. Then you set yourself up as the only thing to stop them in this world, the person who is fighting against them. And then you ask for money from people to say, hey, give me money and I will fight against the demons that clearly are not real. But then you can point to all this, oh, foul language is increasing, it's the demons. People are not going towards the nuclear family. It's the demons. People are more unhappy. It's prices are rising. It's the demons. And everything to this guy is demons. Everything. It's ridiculous.
month. Your tax deductible.
Tax deductible.
Subscribe to ExoNova.
Yeah, and I mean, the whole thing about it is that when you have tax deductible donations, it's like when you have tax deductible donations, it's like the government is essentially paying that organization money. So they kind of get around the idea of, well, we don't get any money from the government. Well, that's true, but people give you money and then they claim it as a tax deduction, right? So I have a big problem with like people like this guy being given money and then people claiming it on tax. Because he's not doing anything useful for the community. In fact, he's probably doing a lot of harm with this exorcism bullshit. Right? Like, that's basically what he's doing. So, people ordinarily would pay more tax, but instead they can tax deduct it. And I have no problem when that's, say a church that helps the poor, or they're doing some kind of, work that actually helps people. But Bob Larson isn't helping people. He's actively harming them. He's convincing them that demons are real so he can get them coming back for him. It's fucking bullshit.
I want to talk to you about George Carlin's 7 Dirty Words. Now,
Yeah.
most of you are too young to remember the outrage of language coming from a comedian named George Carlin.
You know what? His entire point was that you're outraged about it. They're just words. I mean, why aren't you outraged at Fopdoodle? Why aren't you outraged at Fopdoodle? I don't know why. It's a curse word. Why is Sard not really? It's because it's not seen as a curse word anymore. They're archaic. They're not used anymore. It is showing that these words are just something in the language. And then the funny thing about George Carlin, he goes on, he says 7 words that you're not allowed to say on TV. And then he goes on to say like 20 words, some of which are way worse than, what is it? I think somebody said it earlier. I think it was, it was BTF Wayne said, shit, piss, fuck, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker, and tits. Right? That's the George Cunt thing. I tried to download the segment so you could see it, but it kind of didn't work. So I think I will just to so the 7 words you can't say on TV. I mean, you could now say, oh, that's 7 words you can't say on YouTube, but you can, like you definitely can. Carlin, 7 words. They're words you can go to jail for, yeah. And I mean, he went on to say, that they're only words kind of thing. I think I've got... Oh, that's the full thing. Okay. Hold it. Hold it. So this is basically it.
Shit, piss, fuck, cunt, cocksucker, tits. Remember the old rhythm? Shit, piss, fuck, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker, tits. Cocksucker, motherfucker, tits. Cocksucker, motherfucker, tits. Cocksucker, motherfucker, tits. Now, shit, piss, fuck, cunt, cocksucker, tits. It falls apart. It isn't going anywhere.
So he's basically saying that something's been taken out of it. Basically, you know, like it's it's you know, you can now say some of them. You can now say piss, and it sort of falls apart. So yeah. Thought you were frozen? No. I was just trying to find the video of George Carlin saying it. Carlin was amazing. He had some really good comedy, but of course, the Exorcist here doesn't get the joke that whether something's swearing or not just relies on cultural interpretation. They don't mean anything. They just what they think is wrong or what is right. I think he was actually. Like, they can actually, at that time, saying those on television can actually get you thrown in jail, and that was the whole point.
Who shocked audiences back in the 60s and 70s. Carlin was a legendary American stand-up comedian and self-proclaimed social critic. He died in 2008, so a whole generation has arisen that never heard of him. But Carlin single-handedly changed public discourse in America. The F words and related obscenities some of you so casually express as common verbs and adjectives were shocking when I was in college.
Yeah, but Sard isn't, right? That's the thing. Like, that these words change and the meanings change. So this is the problem with fucking fundamentalists like this. They think that words have intrinsic meanings that never change and they just are, right? And they don't. They don't. You know, fuck didn't used to be like, you know, the sort of variable word that it means today. It meant one thing. I think it derived from German, to strike, kind of thing. Like, it's just like the words change all the time. All the time. Language is always in flux. It is always changing. There's certain words, like the word meaning a bundle of sticks, that I wouldn't use today because it's offensive. But it is a word, right? Like, it's not like this whole idea that words are static, have meanings, and that is what they are. And it, you know, no. Terrific meant by terror. Yeah, absolutely. Words change meanings. They all do. And that's okay.
And a lot of this change came from the barriers that were brought down by Carlin. He was irreverent in his criticism of government, but
look, it wasn't just Carlin, and you're blaming one person for, you know, a slow change over an amount of time, but he was doing social commentary. Why do we consider these words bad? Why? There doesn't seem to be a meaning to it. And why does one of these words, piss, suddenly get taken out? Why isn't that still offensive? Because, I mean, in Australia, it's used for all kinds of things, right? Like, oh, last night I got on the piss. It means to drink. Like, you basically, that I'll translate from Australian. That means I drunk a lot last night, right? You know, I can say I'm pissed off. That means I'm angry, right? We all know that one. And yeah, you can say, hey, that guy made me piss, right? It means, hey, I'm really scared of that dude. Like, as well as to urinate, which was like this word changed. Yes, no, I get you back. I get you back. I hear you. Okay, I hear you. Yeah, and that's part of the problem, Archer. And I think that is absolutely part of the problem. They see demonic possession in things like Tourette, so I can't stop swearing. But even somebody that just, you know, has a habit of swearing, they just see as demonic possession rather than the habitual thing, just a normal habit that somebody has. As bad as, biting your fingernails or doing any of that stuff. Like, it's just a habit. You can break habits.
Most of all, religion.
But you don't do it by exorcism. That's not how you break habits.
He was censored for using what were called the 7 dirty words that were not supposed to be used in network television. His use of these words in public and in the media triggered a U.S. Supreme Court case on broadcast censorship. And it should be noted that Carlin was an atheist and hated Christians. It came across in what he said, but
George Carlin did not hate Christians. No, he did not. He hated, like, Christianity in general. He hated what it did. He hated what it did to people, but he didn't hate the Christians. Like, I think this is the most ridiculous thing to say to a guy who really was doing social commentary. And yeah, he didn't like the religion, but he didn't hate God because he didn't believe in God, and he didn't hate Christians. He just hated what the religion did to them. So, I don't think Carlin really hated Christians.
to many, he was a defender of free speech and anti-authoritarianism. Now, I am not going to repeat Carlin's 7 dirty words, but I'm going to obliquely refer to them, and you'll get the idea. 2 of the 7 were in reference to bodily functions. 2 referenced sexual parts.
Oh no, bodily functions? Oh no. What are we going to do? How dare you reference bodily functions? All those doctors are going to hell. They're going to hell.
Parts of the human anatomy, and the other 3 are verbs alluding crudely to sex.
Sure.
Carlin said words were weapons, and he used them to try to bring down Christian values.
Well, he said that words were weapons, but he was trying to create a better world with them. He was trying to fight against, like you said, inequity, inequality, and you know, authoritarianism. That's absolutely what he was doing. If the Christians would just stop being authoritarian, we wouldn't have to try to fight against them. But they do. They really do. It's a problem. It's a problem.
He would pick a taboo topic and then lace his language with scatological comments. I watched him several times on network television, and it was obvious he was an angry and bitter man who hated Christ and social convention of any kind.
He didn't seem to me like an angry and bitter man. He seemed more exhausted with how ridiculous this world was. It's the absurdity of this world, you know. And sort of a few of his stand-ups were like, have you ever noticed that other people's stuff is shit, but your shit is your stuff kind of thing? That's the kind of stuff that he did. He commented on the way we perceive society in general, and the way that society works on sometimes things that are just imaginary. They don't exist. I loved his stand-up on, you know, people having to save the planet, and his whole thing was, the planet's doing fine. We're fucked. You know, that was really, really good. And it's got nothing to do with hating Christianity or hating this or hating... No, it's got nothing to do with it. It's acknowledging that if we're stupid enough to affect ourselves into extinction, the planet will go on just fine. We want to save ourselves, which is still important, but, you know, I don't think I would describe him as angry. He was certainly frustrated sometimes talking to people, you know, these fairy tales and, you know, stuff that he saw as just ridiculously stupid. But, you know, I don't think he was angry as such. I mean, I think we were all a bit angry when we learnt about the Catholic Church and its transgressions. I don't know who wasn't angry. But that doesn't mean that you live an angry life. It's just certain things are, for lack of a better word, fucked. Totally fucked. And you should get angry about them. If you're not angry about what the Catholic Church did to children, then you haven't been fucking paying attention, quite frankly.
I don't know why. We'll never know. But it wasn't by accident. Something was eating away at his gut, and he displaced his anger against whoever had misused or abused him and focused instead on attacking decency and the Christian faith. And I believe that's what some of you are doing. When you use curse words, you are lashing out because of some injustice or some terrible abuse that happened to you. It's eating you on the
Well, no, it didn't happen to me. And it's not eating me on the inside. It's just, there is injustice in the world. And if I get angry about it, yeah, I can express that with a swear word. It's got no more consequence than that as an expression of emotion. That's all. That's absolutely all. They're just words. They don't have any kind of spiritual meaning or any kind of thing. They're just words.
inside. And it's your way of getting out the pain and hurting somebody else the way that you were hurt. Now, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, thanks, fucking armchair psychologist. Look, this prick, like, seriously, that to just say, well, if you use a swear word, you're in pain from some. No, like I said, I know plenty of guys in Australia who are lovely people, really, really nice people, really lovely people. They swear a lot. Big fucking deal. Like, this is ridiculous. This is basically trying to gaslight people into, well, you've got a problem because you're swearing. And what's the cure to the problem? Oh, it's my university. Send $49.99 to my university and I'll send you a complete kit of how to get rid of your problem that never existed in the first place. Look, don't go to charlatans like this. If you are in pain, go to a therapist, somebody that has studied the human mind, and not to manipulate it, but in order to give you the tools to cope with it. Oh boy. Oh, hey John, good to see you, mate. I'm really looking forward to John the Godless Engineer is coming up. What is it? Saturday night Eastern time, Sunday my time. Be fantastic. I'm really looking forward to it, mate. It's good to see you.
That Carlin had vile demons. And if you speak like him...
Bullshit. Carlin was a great guy. I mean, he really was a very present. He was a very intellectual guy who saw a lot of injustice in the world, a lot of wrong in the world. He spoke out about it. He made comedy about it. He laughed a lot. Anybody saying that Carlin was just this angry old guy just was not paying attention. They just aren't. And yeah, he was angry about certain things in the world, but aren't we all? Shouldn't we be? If we see some injustice perpetrated by some vile monster, take this Epstein thing. If you're not angry about that, you haven't been paying fucking attention to it. Quite frankly, it is horrific. Horrific. And to say, oh, but if you swear about that, if you swear about these fucking monsters, then the problem is with you. No, it's not. No. The problem is that you're not upset enough about it. You're absolutely not upset enough about it.
You likely have demons too.
You likely have demons too, and that's the grift. What constitutes a curse word? Can you get demons from cursing? I can't believe people actually buy this bullshit. I really can't. It's just so ridiculous.
If we're going to talk about curses, what makes a word a curse? What constitutes a curse word?
Whatever puts demons in them to get you money. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, we all know that by now. We all know that by now, John. I think, it's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. Well, he's just sort of saying, why won't the Democrats release it? And it's like, well, they're on it as well. But like Clinton's got to be on it, right? Like, seriously, he's got to be. It'd be absolutely ridiculous if he wasn't.
Curse words are also known as profanity, vulgarity, swearing, taboo language.
And fuck no.
They are considered offensive, impolite, or socially unacceptable. What counts as...
You just described Australians in general. Like, seriously, he just described Australian socially unacceptable, impolite. Yeah.
The curse word depends on culture, context, religion.
Not necessarily, John. I was just discussing how fop doodle used to be a curse word. You ever heard of fop doodle? Fop doodle. We're bringing back fop doodle as a curse word. Just saying.
And actually the time period in history. Words change over time. Profanities are usually associated with anger and frustration.
Not necessarily, no. In fact, they can be associated with all kinds of emotion. Like I can say, I fucking love that guy. I fucking love this community. Oh, you are such a magnificent cunt, right? Like, seriously. You magnificent bastard. Like, seriously, you absolute fucking legend. Right? This is the stuff that they say, oh, no, it's a fuck doodle. Okay, well, the original word was a fop doodle, apparently, but never mind. You go nuts, John. You fucking go nuts, mate. You mad cunt. You go nuts. Look, okay, so that's examples of words used while cursing that are actually not anger and frustration. They're exemplifying people. They're admiring people. They're expressing this amazing love for these people. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. I feel like Bob Larson is a guy like, when someone from the street talks about nuclear physics, or like, he's got no idea what he's talking about and he's just saying shit. Like, seriously.
But observe that it actually isn't the word which is bad, but the social meaning connected to it. And I would add, what's on the inside of the person.
No, not really, because you can swear all live long day and still be a good person. It's got nothing to do with it. Yeah, you are a magnificent, majestic cunt. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So it doesn't, and I'm not frustrated with Beck at all, right?
Now, this way of explaining curses may be true with some curse words, but when it comes to spiritual vulgarities and references to sex, there's no connection to culture.
Spiritual vulgarities are related to sex. What the hell? My guy, just because you have sex doesn't mean it's some kind of spiritual thing. Like, I feel like he's really claiming an integral part of society by saying, oh, that's spiritual. Did you know sex was spiritual? No, I didn't. I feel no need to think that way. What the fuck are you talking about? You bargain basement Catholic priest. What the fuck are you talking about? Seriously.
It's outright evil. What the word describes is in itself evil. Linguists and psychologists categorize curse words by the taboos that they bring.
Sex is evil? What? Hey, Jess, so good to see you. Look, we're swearing today, Jess. So like, get that mouth into gear. Fucking get that fucking mouth into gear and swear some in the chat, because this is the read swearing episode. Go for it. Let vulgarity fly. Today is the day. We're fucking letting it loose. So just fucking go fucking hog wild, mate. Bob Larson, what a fucking joke this guy is.
Sexual and bodily function curse words. They're the worst.
Oh, urinate. I got on the urination last night. No, I pissed it up, mate. I pissed it up. Absolutely. How does one find out? Yeah, that's a good point. If they're related to sex, I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. It's very weird.
The purpose is to shock. From a spiritual perspective, however, such words are denigrative to human behavior, such as degrading the beauty and pleasure of marital sex.
Oh, of marital sex. Okay, so there's no beauty or pleasure in non-marital sex. Beg to differ. Beg to differ. Apanak.
Satan uses words to mock the handiwork of God's creative order. The most egregious curse words, however, are those of a religious nature. Those are considered blasphemous, and this would include damning someone in the name of God.
He said damn. He said damn. Okay, Bob Larson is possessed by demons. Confirmed. He said damning. How dare you, sir? My sensitive ears are accosted by your damnation. Blasphemy! Blasphemy! Blasphemer! It's ridiculous, dude. I don't give a shit. Like, I don't care.
Or speaking of hell in a pejorative way and not as a place or eternal destination when you are telling somebody to go to Hell.
Oh, go to hell, mate.
It's
yeah.
the name of Jesus.
Really? I mean, that's considered pretty light where I am. Yeah, I think so, James. I think so. I mean, like most emphasis, using it sparingly is good. It's like an exclamation mark, right? Like if you use an exclamation mark sparingly, it gives that oomph to what you're saying. If you do it in every single sentence, it just looks like you're fucking crazy. Like, seriously. I think it's about the same. Sure. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Which is used in a vicious way for...
He just swore. He took the name of the Lord in vain. How dare you, you blaspheming fakery. You degenerate. I'm gonna tell Lord Jesus. Oh no, now I did it.
Vulgarity that tops the list of demonic curses. You hear it all the time in the movies. It's very uncommon to go to a movie and not hear Jesus Christ pilloried, attacked, viciously used in language over and over again.
Oh, viciously. Yeah, just saying Jesus Christ is viciously attacking. I don't know where you get your definitions from, sir, but that is viciously attacking is doing some work there when someone just says Jesus Christ. I mean, I'm an atheist and I say that occasionally just because that's something my parents said. So it was kind of, just used as a curse word. It doesn't mean anything.
Meaning the sacred is what demons do best. Of course, there are also racial and ethnic slurs. We call that hate speech.
Well, yeah, and that's a different story when you're using hate speech. Like you are denigrating a entire demographic based upon prejudice, essentially. But there's a difference between saying like, all N-words are this and saying Jesus Christ. There's a massive difference. For instance, I'm not referring to Christians when I say, oh, God damn it, right? I'm not referring to Christians in general, okay? And two, Christians historically in your country have not been on the receiving end of a lot of prejudice, including laws against them. They've very much been in like laws helping them rather than against them. So no, it's not the same thing. But I don't think that using the N-word opens you up to demons. I just think you're a piece of shit, quite frankly. Andrew Wilson, I'm looking in your direction, you racist piece of shit.
And also on the list would be insults and name-calling. These are designed to besmirch someone's ethnic or geographical origin, and that too is evil.
Well, yeah, yeah, I agree that that's bad, like, name-calling somebody or slurring them or whatever, but you're claiming it opens them up to demons. Like, there's a big difference between swearing, you stub your toe and go, fuck, and actually going to someone and saying, you're a fucking piece of shit. There's a big difference between those two. And it isn't to do with the words, it's to do with the intentionality behind it, what you're trying to do. There's a big, big difference.
There are also curses attacking a person's character by calling...
How's that different if... Oh, it HE double hockey sticks. The keyboard has hockey sticks.
An idiot or some other nasty term. Some Christians think they could get by with words such as freaking, as if they were not cursing. Well, I beg to differ.
Oh, do you even have a problem with freaking? Do you have a problem with get your freak on? Do you have a problem with that? Probably. Wow. This guy, I couldn't imagine growing up like with this guy as your dad, right? Like imagine that. Oh, I had a freaking terrible day. Don't swear. Oh, come on. Seriously? Oof.
Words like this are phrases. Like go blank yourself or calling someone the B word. Unfortunately, the worst of these words have entered the classrooms of America and the halls of Congress. It's not uncommon to see a representative or a senator, and even the president, using vile.
Does he still support Trump? Apparently he supported him over Hillary. I'm not sure he does anymore. Maybe he swore once too many. And yeah, Trump swears more than any other president in history. I will say that.
Language that a generation ago.
But, you know, that's not why Trump's terrible. Trump's terrible because he's a wannabe dictator who has no regard for the Constitution of America or legal due process. That's why he's a fucking dipshit. That's why he's a complete fuckknuckle, because he doesn't have respect for those institutions, not because he swears. Like, let's make that perfectly clear. And I don't think Trump is, you know, beset by demons. I think he's just beset by stupidity.
Would have consigned them to the outer fringes of society. If you curse because you're trying to shock someone or you think it's funny, think again. If you're trying to share a sense of rebellion with somebody by adopting their vulgar speech, you're only degrading yourself. And as I've already said, you run the risk of demonic possession with an outburst of profanity.
Yeah, no. Look, it can be good for social bonding too. Like, seriously. It can be good for, you know, and this has been studied fairly comprehensively. It can lead to social bonding. It can lead to social ostracization, depending on the society or the situation that you're in. It's almost like, you know, you can socially affect people by what you say to them. Wild, I know. But, you know, opening yourself up for demons? Come on, dude. Seriously? What a bunch of bullshit.
Cursing can give demons a legal right of entry. I'm an exorcist. I know this.
I'm an exorcist, and I have the cross to prove it. Who takes this man seriously? Like, you know, I'm a writer and I have the pen to prove it. Like, what are we talking about here? I'm an exorcist. Come on, this guy's a joke. That's a joke. You know, and this is how he makes his money. It is like convincing people, oh, if you swear you're opening yourself up for demons, you're gonna need my university or consulting service or whatever dumb crap he's peddling at this point in time. It's actually, you know, I can't imagine that anybody can believe this.
And that right of entry is not necessarily by uttering the actual words of the curse, but because the cursing comes from something very sinful in the heart of the person. That is an expression of demonic behavior.
No, it's an expression of frustration. It's funny, every time I stub my toe, the demons get a hold of me. Oh, just, what are you talking about? You know, you might as well say, hey, if you just rip a fart, it's an expression of demonic possession. You know, seriously. Oh, boy. What the Bible says. Oh, come on, my guy. My guy.
What some of you really want to know is, what does the Bible say about cursing and coarse language?
Well, Paul used a curse word, as we mentioned earlier. He actually used one. Left-handed Jedi with $2. Fucking thank you, you glorious cunt. You absolute glorious goddamn fucking bastard. Trust me, bro, I'm an exorcist. You can't make this shit up, right? Like, it is so ridiculous. And trust me, I'm an exorcist. What the hell?
Are there scriptures that condemn it? Are you kidding? I could spend another hour or more giving you examples of profanity and...
Oh, please don't. Please don't. A fart is releasing a demon. Yes! That demon! Get thee behind me, Satan! I used to be able to do that better.
My own frustration with the hells and damns I've heard from the lips of Christian leaders.
That's a good point, Jess. Calling people... Whoops, sorry, wrong one. Calling people swine is pretty sweary. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Godless Engineer, member for 11 months. Has it been that long, John? Wow. Long John? That's terrible. But gee, thank you so much. Conversationalist message. Wow, 11 months. I'm donating $50 at 12 months. And look, I really appreciate it. And feel free, I do try to give back to the people that are contributing to the channel. I do member streams every 2 weeks and try to have some fun. Yesterday we played Euro Truck Simulator and watched me crash kind of a lot and get a boat stuck on a pole, which was fun for everybody except me. But you know, that's the kind of thing we do here at Mark Reed Atheism. We get boats stuck on pole. But thank you so much, G. I really appreciate it, mate. I really do. That's what he tells the altar boys. Okay, that's fucking terrible, Jack. That's terrible. That's a terrible joke. That's terrible.
I find cursing offensive, and it's dangerous. It's an undeserving way to open up one's life to evil spirits. But let's let the Bible speak for itself.
Look, the only evil spirit I know of is ouzo. That is Greek firewater. It tastes like aniseed licorice, and it is an evil spirit. Okay, it really is. Maybe Jägermeister would also fall under evil spirits, because that stuff is wrong. It's wrong.
There are dozens of scriptures I could quote, but I'm going to give you a list of 10 that should get your attention. Exodus 20, verse 7. That's the third commandment. You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless who takes his name in vain.
Well, hang on. That's not swearing. That's blasphemy. That's like using the Lord's name in vain. I mean, is that swearing? It might be cursing, but I don't think it's swearing. You know, like I think Bob's like definition of swearing and cursing isn't well fleshed out. It's basically anything he deems and the church and, you know, his religion deems to be offensive is swearing. Interestingly enough, swearing is protected under the First Amendment in America, right? Like it absolutely is. It's a freedom of expression, and you are expressing yourself. You're even allowed to swear at the police. That's totally fine. You know, I don't know. It's very strange, but there's so in Colossians 3:8. Paul instructs you to rid yourselves of anger, malice, rage, slander, and filthy language. But Paul himself swears in the Bible, right? As I mentioned before, he uses a word meaning excrement, basically, in ancient Greek, of course. But, you know, he does use it in the Bible. So it's kind of this really weird discrepancy. Yeah, so it was skubalon in Philippians 3:8, meaning dung or excrement. So the Apostle Paul tells you to rid yourself of filthy language, and then later he says shit. You know, wow. And for $5 US fucking dollars, Godless Engineer says, I love reacting to him in October for Halloween. It's fun. Nice, yeah. Like, because, I mean, he really does try to drum up that fear, right? It's like, oh, you could have demons at any point. Like, come on, dude. Fucking what? Seriously? You know, and sometimes I think it is that the Christians want something to blame other than themselves. Look, just wear it. Just own it.
Leviticus 24, 15 through 16. Whoever curses his God shall bear his sin. Whoever blasphemes the name of the Lord shall surely be put to death.
Okay, that's horrifying. That's horrifying in a modern world. Like, are we taking that literally? Because that's horrifying.
That's Old Testament law. Ephesians 4:29. Let no corrupting talk come out of your mouth, but only such as is good for building up as fits the occasion, that it may give grace to those who hear.
Yeah, so all of this kind of is talking about blasphemy, not just swearing. It's talking about words that are insulting to the church kind of thing, or tearing down the church. It's not actually talking about just swearing. Jesus calls a woman a bitch? Really? I didn't know that one. Um, is it in Mark 7? Let me have a look at it. It's KJV. Um, I don't know. I don't know. If you can give me the you know, thing. I mean, he says, yet the dogs under the table eat of the children's crumbs. Huh. I'm not sure about that one, mate. I really am not. But, you know, if you can give me the verse. Uh-oh. I think I am struggling. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Yeah, I definitely compared it to a dog, but I'm not sure. Yeah, he kind of said it is not meet to take the children's bread and cast it unto the dogs. So yeah, you could interpret it like that he's sort of saying, hey, you're a dog, but yet dogs under the table eat of the children's crumbs. Wow, okay. Well, I mean, that's kind of gross.
Colossians 3:8. But now you must put them all away: anger, wrath, malice, slander, and obscene talk from your mouth.
Yeah, and the same guy used a swear word in the New Testament. That's great. That's great. So it is in uh Philippians 3, verse 8, and I'll get that up because Colossians is Paul, right? So that's Paul writing to the Colossians, but so is Philippians. There's the NIV, that's fine. Yeah, so Philippians 3:8. What is more, I consider everything a loss because of the surpassing worth of knowing Christ Jesus my Lord, whose for all sake I have lost all things. I consider them garbage that I may gain Christ, right? That word is actually skubalon, which it's a curse word meaning dung or excrement. So he's basically saying, I consider them shit so that I may gain Christ. Obviously, that's been sort of changed a little bit. Let's see what it says in the KJV under the same verse. Philippians 3:8. Yeah, garbage is what they've written it as. Fun fact, doesn't mean garbage. Doesn't mean garbage. Just saying.
James 3:6. The tongue is a fire, a world of unrighteousness, staining the whole body, setting on fire the entire course of life, and set on fire by hell. James 3:9-10. With it, that's the tongue, we bless our Lord and Father, and with it we curse people who were made in the likeness of God. These things ought not to be so. The words of Jesus, Matthew 12:36 through 37. I tell you, on the day of judgment, people will give an account for every careless word they speak. For by your words you are justified, and by your words you will be condemned.
Yeah, none of this is really talking about swearing. It's talking about sort of vilifying of the church, of the religion, of blasphemy, that kind of stuff. It's not actually talking about swearing. So this is a stretch to say, hey, this refers to all curse words, all swear words. It refers to fuck. It refers to this. No, it's taking the Lord's name in vain and things like that, like or denying or trying to convince people that it's not true, which I do as well. But, you know, I don't believe any of this crap because, of course, every religion is going to tell you that it is sacrilegious to try and convince people that the religion isn't true. That's how religions survive. They make it an offense to consider them untrue. And that's sort of the mind control bullshit that these guys get up to. You know, like he who has doubt in his heart will be condemned forever kind of crap. It's not cool.
Ephesians 5:4. Let there be no filthiness, nor foolish talk, nor crude joking, which are out of place, but instead let there be thanksgiving.
Yeah, that says which are out of place. Does that mean that foolish talk and crude joking are fine in their place? That's how I'm reading that it's fine in the right situation.
Proverbs 18:21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruits.
The power of the tongue. Yes, I'm a great believer in the power of the tongue. I can tell you a lot about the power of the tongue. Power of the tongue. Yeah, we've all been there for sure. I'm right on board. Not sure what he's referring to, but I'm using as a sexual reference.
Romans 3:13 through 14.
Yeah, and as for that, like, isn't the Song of Solomon basically just a big fuck poetry? Like, isn't that basically what it is? Like, how can he go on about, like, you know, swear words and cursing is related to sex, blasphemous words are related to sex, and then you've got Song of Solomon, which is basically just some fuckboys, you know, horn dogging over a woman. Okay. Cunning linguists, absolutely.
Their throat is an open grave. They use their tongues to deceive. The venom of
Yeah, that's talking about lying. Oh, by the way, I do remember one study that was saying that honest people are more likely to swear, right? Like that if you're honest, you will swear because it's sort of a very honest thing to do. So he's just conflating any kind of speech with swearing. Like any kind of speech that they don't like.
Asps is under their lips. Their mouth is full of curses and bitterness.
University preview.
Some presence is near. Moving.
Ugh.
Likely have a generational curse of witchcraft. The demon.
Oh, God. This guy's terrible. This guy's absolutely terrible. Being spooked. Fuck yeah, Al. Good to see you, mate. Fuck yeah, buddy. Oh, I hate this music. I absolutely hate this music.
Being spooked means you likely have a generational curse of witchcraft.
It's a generational curse. It's like some witch cursed my ancestors long ago. What are you talking about? Was it like when we used to live in England before we got sent out to Australia? Was that a curse? Is that a curse? Can I pay you to rid me of this curse? Wow. No, hey, Titan. What the fuck is a generational curse? Like, seriously. Generational curse. Pass through the family. Oh, God. Gene expression and descendants. Really? Okay. Whatevers.
The demons in you, or the curses attached to you, are reacting to the presence of demons around you. The key here is that Satan wants to expose you to the preternatural circumstance.
Preternatural doesn't mean supernatural. Preternatural means natural but highly developed. It means like, you know, if you say, hey, mongooses have a preternatural speed, right? Like it is natural, but it's highly, highly developed. So I don't think preternatural means what I think he means. And he must have been reading some Anne Rice, because Anne Rice uses the word preternatural all the fucking time. I'll get an actual definition of preternatural for you, because I don't think he's got the right word. Preternatural. Beyond what is normal or natural. So beyond normal kind of thing. So here we go. Supernatural refers to phenomena that are inherently beyond the laws of nature and the created order, such as divine intervention or the existence of ghosts and demons. Preternatural, by contrast, describes qualities or events that are extraordinary, uncanny, or beyond the usual, but still originate from within the created world, even if inexplicable by ordinary means. Right? So preternatural does not mean what he thinks it means. Maybe, as I said, people with large vocabularies often swear as well. They love to exercise that vocabulary. Maybe he should swear more and develop his vocabulary, and he would know that preternatural doesn't mean supernatural.
It could be a sudden feeling of intense chill or coldness. Perhaps you see floating orbs or...
Oh, I've never been chill or colden before. Chill or coldness. Like, you know, the door's open or something. You know, like that's evidence of demons, obviously.
Or have the sense that some presence is near. Moving shadows might appear out the corner of your eyes. Odd sounds could be heard, like footsteps or creaking.
Or somebody saying, what the fuck are you doing over here? Like, seriously, what are you talking about, my guy? Like, seriously, what are you talking about? This is like you hear footsteps. Oh, it's evidence of demons. Dude, I live in a place that people are around all the time. I don't have demons, I have neighbors.
The noises might be subtle or loud and terrifying. Here's what's happening. Demons are trying to spook you into a state of fear. If you give in to it, the devil will ramp up the frequency and intensity of such occurrences. What starts out as a chill...
Yeah, I got to give him credit for his selection of, you know, clips, stock footage. You know,
up your spine with the hairs on your neck standing up may turn into intense terror. What happens may be...
Yeah, no, I forgot he has a cross. You know, like an exorcist would. I forgot the cross. You know, trust me, I'm an exorcist.
Be so odd that you question your own sanity over time. Don't give in to speculation. Eventually, your soul and mental stability may be at stake. What you hear or sense on the outside is looking for a way to get inside you. Fear of an ethereal threat may...
Wait, I thought you already said it was inside. It's looking for a way to get... Didn't he already say that it was inside you and coming from the inside? He said it was on the inside of you, and now he's saying it's something outside looking to get inside. Well, which is it? It can't be both. Yeah, no, he cosplays a Catholic priest, and he's not a Catholic priest, but everybody associates exorcisms with the Catholics, quite rightly so. So he makes himself look like that.
Be a demonic doorway. If you think you live in a haunted house, get it properly spiritually cleansed. Our book, Larson's Book of Spiritual Warfare, describes exactly how this is done.
Buy my DVDs. Yes, if you have a cold draft, buy my book and get it spiritually cleansed. You know, don't look for the source of the cold air. Just you know, buy my book. Enrolling. Oh, fuck off. Final thoughts. Yes, please.
To tell you an interesting story.
Oh, it's story. It's story time. It's story time.
Here at our ministry center in Phoenix.
Okay, so next week on Bob Larson's bullshit, here we go. Here's an anecdote that you will enjoy, and you will finally believe that cursing can cause your fucking demons to rise up. Yep.
Phoenix, Arizona, when a woman...
Oh dear. Google it? Okay. Oh no. You can't put something like that in chat and not expect me to do it. Seriously. Oh. 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 Oh, that's a good image. So this is the baby Jesus butt plug. Feel blessed every 10 hours with the baby Jesus butt plug. For 40 days and 40 nights, you'll experience the best orgasm of your life with the baby Jesus butt plug. Sanctified, ribbed, machine washable. It is the, if you need your faith filled, fill it with the baby Jesus butt plug. Available from all retail outlets. Wow, okay, that's something I didn't need to know, and I do love it. I do love it. I do love it. Oh, thank you, Ryan. Thank you. Take care. Good night. It protects you from all demon intrusions. Being rear-ended in your life. And just for $2, you need to feel the baby Jesus inside you. If your lack of faith is causing you consternation, dear. If your erection lasts longer than 2 hours, please see an exorcist.
An individual flew a considerable distance to meet with me for a direct face-to-face personal ministry session of deliverance.
Oh, yeah, face-to-face. And how much does that cost? Just wondering offhand.
She was a very gracious woman, a little older.
Schedule a personal encounter with Bob. Fucking Bob. Why would I want a personal encounter with Bob? Dang. And I think on the Late Show they did a thing about this guy saying that you could exorcise demons over Skype calls, kind of thing. Like he would do a Skype call with you and exorcise demons over Skype. But they said, well, why can't you do it over Twitter? And he's like, don't be ridiculous. And that is the most fucked up thing, right? Like, why does it work over Skype but not Twitter? Why? I don't understand. Like, isn't the magic God rays transmitted the same over the internet, no matter what program that you're using? Why does Skype work, but Twitter doesn't? Why? I don't understand.
Single. Had spent her life doing good. Solid member of the church. A very gracious individual. And godly. I asked her why she had come to see me.
Oh, God,
she said, I have watched you on social media and YouTube.
Creepy. Yeah, there's people that actually believe this bullshit. That is the most amazing thing to me, that there are people out there that actually believe this utter crap. Like, seriously, what is wrong with you?
And I thought, is it possible I could have a demon? Now, let me assure you.
Is it possible I could have a demon?
She said that, I thought, this is truly the most unlikely person I may have ever met.
Yeah, so going to a grifter like him, an exorcist grifter like him, and saying, is it possible I could have a demon in me? It's like going to a snake oil salesman and going, is it possible your snake oil could cure me? Like, what do you expect him to say? Like, what do you expect this guy? Of course he's going to say, oh, yes, it's very possible.
Who could have a demon? She said, I came all this distance just to get checked out. Now, I have people who will do that. Most of the people come to me. They know they have a demon. A demon is manifested, or they've got behavior or things going on in their lives.
And if they don't, you try to convince them they do. It's, wow. Wow.
That are clearly demonic. But some people just want to have a checkup, and that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, but you're probably best off having a checkup with an actual professional, not some snake oil salesman who cannot show any results at all. Like, all you use is anecdotes. You used to believe. No, I gotcha. I gotcha. Yeah, yeah. No, that's fair, Archer. That's a fair comment, and you're totally right. Um, but I mean, I just, it's hard because, yeah, okay. No, that's fair, Archer. I will take that. Yes, yeah, that's fair. That it's the indoctrination of these people, and that's what we've got to fight against. That's what we've got to really put our foot down and say, hey, if you can't demonstrate with a reliable methodology that you are doing anything, you have to shut up shop. I've done a couple of fundamentalist fails on this guy before. Really unimpressive, really fake kind of stuff. I get it. But it's just, oof.
You should schedule a Zoom session with me, or even an in-person session. That checkup will be the most thorough spiritual investigation of your life regarding.
Yeah, he will search all cavities, snap, for those demons. All cavities will be searched. All swear words will be used. I will find that baby Jesus butt plug and sanctify it once again. Oh, come on. Seriously? Yeah, in fairness, I'll do a lot for people who send me $1,000 too. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm definitely, for my fundamentalist fails, I'm definitely coming back to this guy. I find him hilariously bad.
The possibility of some type of demonic intrusion.
Demonic intrusion.
And honestly, I thought she probably doesn't have any demons, but we may be able to find some curses. And
for $1,000, I better find one, right? Like, I better find that demon. Nobody pays $1,000 to be told, yeah, no demons here. Sorry. You're fine. You're fine.
Minister some freedom to her. I said to her, as I do most people, once we have done our curse breaking, I'll begin asking some questions. I would like you to say the first thing that comes in your mind. Don't process it. Just say it.
Chill. Grifter. Con artist. Scammer. Lawsuit. How about that one?
I don't even remember what the question was, but I do know the first words that came out of her mouth. F-U-U-M-F.
Yeah, I'd probably say that to you as well when I realize that you're scamming me. Yeah. That might be. Yeah.
Of course, she didn't use the abbreviations, and we were all stunned. And she came to herself and she said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I've never spoken those words in my entire life."
Yeah. Now, next week on shit that never happened. Like, seriously. So this is just those anecdotes kind of thing. It's like this woman, no need to actually show it on any kind of documentation. There's nothing there. It's just an anecdote that he's saying, hey, even if you don't think you're possessed, because that's what he makes his money off. He doesn't get paid for somebody going to him and he goes, no, you're totally fine.
What have I...
And it also gives his people something to blame their bad behavior on. That's probably one of the worst things, that if they do anything wrong, they don't say, hey, I made a mistake, I've got to watch this, or I've got to change my behavior and do the hard work it takes to say, hey, maybe one of my core beliefs is wrong. Maybe I need to change my perspective on this group of people. Maybe I've got to work on myself. Right. And so, if I go out and drink and make an ass of myself, maybe I've got to work on that and I have a problem that I need to address. It's easier. Well, the demons made me do it. It's a quick band-aid fix to, like, basically take the guilt away for behavior without actually doing the hard work required to change your behavior. So they'll fall into it again because they haven't actually changed anything. And then, oh, the demons are back. And of course, this absolute cockhead on the side is just making money off of them falling into the same behavior, because he doesn't actually offer any change of behavior. He just offers well, it was demons. I'll exorcise them. Now you're fine. That's not how anything works. Nothing is that simple.
Done. I apologize to you. You're a man of God. I would never say that to a pastor or anyone in spiritual authority, and would never say those words to anyone.
I will. Fuck you, you motherfucker, for preying on people that, preying on people with problems. Seriously, they may need actual help, not your quackery. So fuck you, motherfucker.
I've never spoken those words. Please forgive me. And I looked at her and said, you didn't say them. The demon said them. Now, I don't have time to tell you the whole story.
Did her head spin round? I want to know if her head spun round. Seriously, this is absolute bullshit.
Now, of how demons, through generational bloodline curses, had gotten into her life. In a certain sense, she was born with them, and we run into that all the time. This demon was hiding. He wasn't able to do much. He couldn't corrupt her behavior.
But it could speak through her mouth for some reason. Explain to me how that works. It was hiding, yet it just spoke up when you asked her to say the first words that come to mind. It's not doing a very good job at hiding. What the hell? I don't... Wow.
He wasn't getting her to actively sin, but he was there, waiting, looking for an opportunity to strike.
And that opportunity was in the middle of people and a pastor. I don't know who's more ignorant and stupid, you or the demon, quite frankly, because if it's hiding, it's not... Okay.
You never know. You might have.
You never know, but I do, because my livelihood depends on it being true. So I know. Hey, Kiwi Bird.
A demon like that.
Oh, you do know a demon.
Your
like
Christian
that.
commitment doesn't allow it to push you into vile behavior that would make it obvious there's a contradiction between your belief system and what the demon is doing. But sometimes the demons just lay back, playing the long game.
Oh.
They know that if they wait long enough, there is the chance, because they had a right to be there in the beginning, that you will say or do something that gives them the right of entry.
Hang on. The right of entry. Again, he said that the demon's inside you, right? That it was there from the start because of what, generational curses or whatever. And then he's saying, you might do something to give the demon right of entry. No, hold on a second. You said the demon was already there, laying back with a margarita. How can it be that it's already in there and can, not do much, but it can make you swear your ass off, apparently, but then it's waiting for you to do something to give it right of entry? This guy makes no sense whatsoever. Like, this doesn't make any sense. He's saying the demon's already inside you, but it's looking for a right of entry. Then it's not inside you. Wow, okay, this is weird. Like, this guy's just making shit up as he goes along, quite frankly. It doesn't make any sense.
And that something might be you deliberately cursing. Now, I explained to this woman clearly the cursing was done not by her, but by a demon, an alternate identity, a spiritual evil spirit in her mind. But it was the expression of a hitherto hidden agenda. Let me put this simply. One of the quickest ways to know if a person has a demon is...
All right, buddy. See you later. Yeah, I don't know why. Like, you're sort of saying, hey, don't curse because it lets the demon in. And then you're saying, hey, the cursing is the demon. It doesn't really mesh up, my guy. It really doesn't. I don't know why, she's already got a demon in her that's looking for entry. And she didn't swear. It was the demon. None of this makes sense. None of this makes sense.
Is to listen to their language. Jesus said in Matthew 12:34, "For out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks." So So what's in your heart? What words express the condition of
Blood is in my heart. Yes. Yes. Blood is definitely in my heart. Valves are in my heart. I know this for a fact. If you're talking about some kind of weird sentiment, no, that's not in my heart. That's in my mind. Hitherto, yeah, he uses these words occasionally. Thusly is another one he uses, I think. It's smoke and mirrors, absolutely, Joe.
Your soul. One of the telltale signs of a demon during an exorcism is when a voice from the body of the host speaks profanities. And this is often inconsistent with the normal language of that person.
Or it could be profanities because you're like holding them down and abusing them. Or it could be a sign of mental illness, like Tourette's syndrome, or perhaps they are distraught because you are doing dumb shit to somebody with a mental illness, or, some form of epilepsy or something. Yeah, it could be that as well.
There's a clear...
What's amazing to me with these exorcists is how many times they will say, oh, I've seen all kinds of supernatural stuff, but not one of them manages to capture it on a camera. Like, not a one. They never have a cell phone in their entire circle of people who are doing all of this to capture what's actually happening. But they'll all swear up and down that they've seen the most freaky stuff, but never actually capture on camera. Very suspicious, very sus, very, very sus by these people. I'm gonna throw a few susses in the chat for this guy.
Distinction by this manifestation, by the language of the evil spirit. Of course, I only allow a demon to speak profanely.
Touch of cholesterol, yeah.
To reveal its hidden presence. Then I shut it up after that. I won't allow it to speak profane language. But as the deliverance proceeds, I watch carefully. Yes, I stop the demon from speaking profane language, especially if it uses the name of the Lord in vain, and that's very common of demons, and it tells me where that kind of a profanity comes from.
I feel like this man has watched The Exorcist way too many times, like way too many times, and he's gone, hey, that's really popular, I'm going to get on that bandwagon. Oh, it's a Catholic thing? I can work with that. Like, seriously, of course, no, we all know demons won't come out with cell phones in the area. It's that 5G network. The 5G network strengthens the demon.
If they try to, I call the judgment of God on them. But this is what I want to say. If you have a problem with cursing, it's likely an addiction.
Well, it's not. It's just a habit. Like, there's just some things, addiction is really when it severely disrupts your life. Like, it's just a habit, like any habit. Like I said, biting your nails, right? It's just a habit. It's not good for you. It's not awesome. It's bad. It doesn't mean you're possessed by demons. It's just a bad habit. It's so ridiculous to take this stance. This habit of swearing. No, it's just a habit. It's like, there's a lot of filler words that people use. I use them. I say and like that. That's a filler word. It is a habit. It doesn't mean there's something demonic going on. We have habits. We have these things that we do that have been reinforced by the constant doing of them. Doesn't mean there's anything supernatural going on at all. It's just a habit. Jester with the $5. Jester, the cursed one. If he's laughing as a Catholic, why is the Protestant Christian flag? Does he not know his own bullfuckery? Yeah, no. Well, I mean, the reason why is because he's obviously an evangelical, and he likes that evangelical thing where you are the one in communion with God. But because don't forget that if this guy was a Catholic, he'd be under the authority of the Catholic Church, where there's a whole system of bishops and archbishops and people to keep an eye on the general bullshittery of what people are doing, and they would tell him to shut up, right? Catholics don't, like most Catholics, don't talk about exorcism because of the horrendous consequences that it has. The people that die and stuff. That little consequence of exorcism. And they would tell him to shut up. But evangelicals don't have the same thing. They can basically go off and do whatever. So the reason why he's LARPing is because he knows exorcisms are associated with Catholics, but he's not a Catholic. And he doesn't want to be, because he doesn't want to be under the authority of the Catholic Church. So yeah, he's just basically, it's almost like he's culturally appropriating Catholicism, you know. Pretty bad. Pretty bad.
It's an addiction similar to drugs or pornography. You can fight back with prayer and spiritual warfare, but you may also need deliverance. Please, do not let curses come forth from your...
And for $59.95, you too can have deliverance. Call for a personal sermon from Bob Larson, the real exorcist. But thank you, Jester. I really appreciate it, mate. I do. But yeah, like, you know, it's just that the Catholics, they're more organized as far as their structure's concerned. And Bob Larson would, you know, I think the Catholics would be embarrassed. Hell, the evangelicals should be embarrassed by this guy. He is absolutely cringe. Yeah, and that's what I said, Fern. I said, like, you know, earlier in the show, I think, like, it's like those scam emails. Yeah, they'll put spelling errors in them and they'll, you know, make them really terrible to weed out people smart enough. Tula Horde and the Alkalite Orchestra, Gensec, for $4.99 US. If you're comfortable discussing it, can you share your secular views? If your secular views influence your politics? Yeah, absolutely. I think they do. Certainly think they do. But one thing that's got to be remembered is that secular does not mean atheist. It doesn't mean a lack of religion. I think that all religions, or lack of, should be able to represent themselves in politics. I just don't think that if you have a particular view, if it's shown to be harmful or harmful to society, harmful to people, that it shouldn't be enforced within a society, because we really want to decide what's best for people. So my secular views definitely influence my politics. However, that's secular, not atheism. I think coming from a secular country, it definitely, like, you know, religious people here should have the same representation that everybody else does for their view. What I don't think they should have is special treatment, like, for instance, the church being able to claim tax-exempt status just by being a church. I think that, like all non-profit organizations, they should have to show that their money is actually benefiting society. And then I'm more than happy with them claiming tax-exempt status. But, you know, I don't really have a problem with religious people having the same rights and freedoms and representing their people in government just the same as everybody else does. What I don't want is them to get special priority. So I think that Christians, Muslims, Hindi, atheists, secularists, agnostics, everybody should have the same contribution towards society. They shouldn't be a special religion in any way. Causes problems. So yeah, I hope that sort of helps. But I'm not just a secularist. I'm a secular humanist, and I'm also an atheist. But it doesn't mean that just because I'm an atheist that I have any right to tell, you know, people of religion to be non-religion or take it out of society. I think that some religions cross the line into being incredibly harmful, and I think that that should be the argument, not just because I'm an atheist. Do your views affect your views? Well, come on, be nice. No, I mean, I think it's a valid question. You know, I would be surprised if secular views didn't influence someone's politics. I would be surprised. But that's okay. But if the question is, like, do I want religion out of politics? No. No, I think it has just as much right to be there as everywhere else. But if they're doing harmful things, I think that that's got to be addressed by politics. That's got to be addressed in the political sphere, not in this, well, let us do whatever we want and, you know, that's fine. I mean, there's cults that we've outlawed already because they do really harmful stuff, you know. So, yeah, but I hope that answers your question, and thank you very much for your contribution. I really appreciate it. All right, back to Larson.
Heart and your lips. It's dangerous. And allowing it and indulging it could further open doors to demons.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Like I said, I know people that swear like sailors. Lovely people. Lovely, lovely people. Hardworking. Love their family. Nothing wrong with them at all. Absolute rascals. Absolute Australian rascals. They're lovely. They're awesome. I know them. They're fantastic.
Let me speak directly to those of you who have that problem. Harnessing your tongue, getting it under control, losing your temper, and using foul language.
Yeah, like, so here's the thing. I don't swear a lot. You know, this has been a fucking exception, right? This has been because Bob Larson's telling me not to swear. This has been Mark the Swearing Bear, the episode, quite frankly. It has been, right? It doesn't mean I have to. It doesn't mean I have to. It doesn't mean I've got a habit of doing so. In fact, my usual habit is not doing so. That's nothing to do with demons. It's nothing to do with... It's more because of working in the fields that I've worked in. When you work in complaints, you can't be swearing at the customers, right? Like, I've worked for internet companies, high-level complaints. You don't swear at the customers because it goes very badly for you. It's just a habit, that's all. But it doesn't matter. If you work in a mine site or you work trucking or if you do... Swear your box off, I don't care. It doesn't offend me. It just offends you. But who cares? It doesn't matter. You know, nothing of this is supernatural. It's just this guy relies on supernatural stuff to get his money.
I want you to repeat a prayer after me.
I don't think that'll be happening.
See, dear Jesus, from my lips, from my mouth, to glorify...
Oh, no, I'm not doing prayer.
To friends, to family, or just letting loose in the car with road rage at an unknown person.
Look, okay, so road rage is bad. Okay, so road rage is bad. It's not because it is some demonic possession. It's because sort of when we road rage, we open ourselves up to actions that are very detrimental, right? We're not... Like, if you just swear in your car, that's not a problem, right? It's your actions that are the important thing. Like, if you just go, oh, you fucking idiot, like, what are you doing on the road? That's not a problem, right? It's when people get angry and then tailgate someone or drive up beside them and try to get them into a fight or something. That's the problem, right? Swearing can alleviate a lot of feelings of anger. Like, you expressing it and getting out there can alleviate a lot of feelings of anger. So it's actually quite helpful. It's when it's stewed upon and, you know, like people act upon it that's bad. So let's pass that right now. Just because you swear, it doesn't mean you're going to act in a worse way. In fact, it can mean that you act better because you are expressing your feelings in a profound way. So, you know, this whole thing is like a slippery slope argument. It's basically, well, if you swear, you're going to lose your crap. No, that does not follow. That does not follow, right? It doesn't.
Let's find out what's really behind it. Mental, emotional, psychological, or the devil?
Mental, emotional, psychological, yes, 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 or the devil? No. No, you do not belong with the rest of those. No. Absolutely not. Like, anger is a weird one because I don't think anger is a real emotion. It's not actually something that is one of the prime. It's a secondary effect. Usually of fear or pain. There's no such thing as anger. It is really going to be mostly fear, right? When you get angry and road rage, or when somebody cuts you off, it isn't so much anger at them as fear of what could have happened. Maybe it'll happen in the future. Maybe this guy will do it to someone in the future. It really is a fear response. It is that fight or flight, and we understand it very, very well. It is the fight part of that coin of fear. So understanding that, it's okay to swear. It is alleviating that fear and alleviating that horrible consequence. Just as long as you don't act on it.
And if it's the devil, this is the place you need to come for help.
Oh God! Spend $49.95 and I will chase out your demon.
Or let me refer you to one of our wonderful associate ministers, or our Do What Jesus Did deliverance teams located in scores of cities all over the world.
Do what Jesus did. Go into the temple in the temple where the moneylenders are and flog them with a whip. Do what Jesus did.
But don't let the cursing continue. Break the power of the curses that you speak over people, because you've not let God heal some particular part of your heart. And
I don't have any part of my heart that I need healed. I rarely curse. It's just fucking, sometimes you gotta fucking curse, mate. Like when you find out that some fucking dipshit of a priest has done something horrible to a kid, that's worth swearing. I get that there's different types. There is swearing at someone in the street because they bumped into you. We understand that isn't cool, right? But if you're hanging around having a party and you just go, I fucking love you guys, you're my mates and I fucking love you all, that's not a bad thing. It's not, right? It's just one of those things. Context is important. But this guy wants to, he apes the Catholics. He really wants to be a Catholic with all of the guilt of, hey, you do this thing, you're condemned. You're going to need me. It's absolutely terrible.
Pray through all of this message today. You're going to get free. Free to speak blessing to people. Good things. Things that will honor your Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Oh, God. All right. I can't take any more of this. He's just wrapping up now, so I might... Yeah, he's just wrapping up. Don't give this guy the time of day, quite frankly. Of all the people that I've seen, he is probably the most corny, obvious, and like, let's face it, he is the most ridiculous shill that I have ever seen in my entire life. Like, he really is so obnoxiously obvious with what he's doing. With his Bible and his big cross and, trust me, I'm an exorcist. Seriously? But I've got to pick on this guy again. And again, I have only sworn throughout this because it was about swearing. I usually don't. I usually don't feel the need, but sometimes I will. Sometimes I'll go to Lynn. I can't believe this fucking guy I debated. Like, seriously, it is cathartic in a way. Psychological studies have shown this. It can provide catharsis, which is that feeling of relief when you actually let your emotions be expressed. A lot of different things can be a catharsis. Fern Love Bond for $6.66, the exact amount, and love to see your clippy. T-shirt. How dare I wear this fucking shirt in front of your goddamn kids? Picture of a chain of pearls caught in a fist. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Yeah, no, I don't have a problem with it. Like, as I said, in Australia, people swear. It's not done just for no reason, but, it happens. It happens, and it's fine. It's totally fine. It is the sentiment behind it that's important. Whether whether you're using that expletive to express an emotion, or whether you're doing it to demean or insult somebody, kind of thing. And I know I've insulted Bob Larson a lot during this stream, mostly because he hates swearing. But it's kind of the whole thing is that he is taking advantage of people. He's trying to convince them that they have a problem that only he can solve and that he can take away their problems. And it doesn't solve anything. If you do have a swearing problem that you're concerned about, seeing somebody that deals with psychology is a good idea. That has proven results. Bob Larson does not. He has anecdotes, and that is all. You know, these stories of this person that came to him and, you know, they had a demon and stuff. Come on, dude. Like, he can't replicate this. He can't show it to anybody on the outside. All of the supernatural things that he says he's witnessed, he's never caught one on camera, ever. For good reason. Because he is a fraud. Taking advantage of people who are gullible enough to believe that their problems aren't them and they can't fix them themselves. They need Bob Larson to do so. Because don't forget, like you might say, oh, but psychologists claim that they can fix him. No, they don't. If you've ever talked to one, they will say that you have to do the work. They provide tools to help. You have to actually do the work to change your lifestyle, change your behavior, change your mental framework, change all of this stuff. They can't do anything. They basically give you the tools to do it yourself, and it requires a lot of work sometimes. You know, it requires you putting in work, like doing exercises, spending time reflecting on things, writing them down, doing journals, doing worksheets, doing all of this kind of stuff and implementing it in a way that we can sort of change attitudes slowly and painfully. This is a quick fix solution where you pay this fraud to wave at you over Skype and say the demons are gone now, you're fine. He doesn't fix anything except his bank balance, presumably. But anyway, this has been Bob Larson, and fuck Bob Larson, quite frankly, because he hates swearing, and so I'm going to swear. I usually don't, but I felt the need to this episode, so deal with it, I guess. Yeah, and it's really weird that he's sort of saying demons are hiding, but when he asked somebody to say the first words, the demon spoke up. It's like, where did it learn its hiding skills? Holy crap. Like, what? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed your time. This has been Fundamentalist Fails. I'm Mark Reed. Feel free to come back. Tomorrow? No, not tomorrow. The next day. Right, so Saturday night Eastern Time, Sunday morning Australian Time, I am going to be having the next debate review with the wonderful Better Than Ember and the awesome Godless Engineer reviewing his debate with Joel Sedekase. First part was really good, so come along for that. It's also the 100th episode of our debate review show, so that is fantastic. Huge milestone. Should be mirth and swearing all round, because of our fucking 100th episode. How awesome is that? So yeah, thank you so much everybody for coming. Apart from that, Aimbot will be back, and yeah, I hope to see you soon. But do be kind to yourself. Don't beat yourself up for swearing. Like, seriously, of all the things you could be doing that are horrible, seriously, swearing is not one of them. It's not a great big deal. If you are cursing out people and making them feel uncomfortable on the street, then yeah, it's a problem. If you just get around your mates and are like, oh, this is a fucking great show, I love this, it's not a big deal. Swearing really, how bad it is really contextual. If you need to have a job where you don't swear, it may be a problem. If you don't, who gives a fuck? Like, seriously. No, nobody does. Like, you come to Australia, like, you're working in a job that, you know, the mines, or you're working in the fields, or you're working somewhere in, you know, industrial. No one gives a shit. Nobody does. And they're good people. They're hard-working people. They're wonderful people. It's got no reflection on you. But yeah, if it's a problem, there is help out there. And definitely not from Bob fucking Larson. Anyway, Be kind to each other. Take care. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.